We are on a journey to awakening. What is that awakening? I am pure consciousness. Or we can say I am of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. What is the superimposition that we have been talking about? But I'll make it very simple and clear again. In the process, in the journey of awakening, I should not continue in the same grade or a class for long. But why I keep it? Why I continue so long? Because I don't understand it. Does Brandy like to keep her students to continue in the same class, same grade every year? I'll come back again into the same class. But what we think in the journey of self-discovery that just focus on the breath, do this mantra, and it will happen. The Brandy says, "No, I love you all students. Please join next year in the same grade." No, it is not. Even if you are doing one meditation, do you rise in awareness by regular practice and contemplation? If that is happening in your life, you are progressing. You are becoming a spiritual person. If it doesn't happen, you are not doing anything to progress. You have to look back, you have to understand it. What is changing is incidental. That is what we say in Eastern wisdom. What keeps changing is incidental. Whatever the practice I do, whatever the knowledge that comes from outside, it helps you to change the mind so that you can reflect on what is intrinsic. One is incidental and other is intrinsic. Intrinsic, unchanging real self. Incidental, the entire world of superimposition. I just woke up. Before that, I was in sleep. Before that, dreaming. Yesterday, I had some stress. Before that, I had all the sensual pleasure. Incidental, incidental, incidental. But one I was present, that is intrinsic. You take the incidental as intrinsic, superimposition is already there. And then you are not finding the real self. That is the problem. It happens every day, every moment. Small things in pieces, so that I just want to bring together so that it will help you. Superimposition is a pandemic disease. I know you understand what do you mean by pandemic. And this pandemic disease is caused by what I call the RSM syndrome. What is RSM syndrome? R means the raga, the Sanskrit word, attachment and detachment. S means the shoka. Shoka means that, I suffer on one account or the other. And the third is the moha. Moha means the delusion. Because of this RSM syndrome, we have millions and trillions of superimposition that we face every day. And we think we are enjoying our life, but we fail to enjoy our lives because of this pandemic. So, this RSM syndrome is caused by the ignorance. In between comes the superimposition. Why don't you listen to me? You're my husband. You see the superimposition behind that husband, there is a man. Behind the wife, there is a woman. You see the superimposition is everywhere. Can I find that truth beyond that superimposition? Beyond incidental that keeps on changing. And behind that incidental, there is intrinsic, that is unchanging, that is unchanging. So our master says that there are many problems, but there is only one solution. Means many superimpositions, many attachments, many delusion. Do I have that level of awareness to recognize this? Last week I had a headache, for example. Day before yesterday I had a knee pain. And just example I'm saying you. Or yesterday I could not get a deep sleep. All incidental. I'm attaching this I to the incidental which is changing. You just even think of it that this is not me. And see then what happens. We are just talking in a very simple and easy way to understand. I gave this heading, A Journey is So Simple to Find the Joy and Love Inside. That is the Eastern wisdom. So I'm making it simpler to help us understand. See in another way, complete ignorance and complete knowledge both are bliss. That is why we say ignorance is bliss, but Eastern wisdom says complete knowledge is bliss. Do you understand? Awakened is a state of complete knowledge of the self. Complete knowledge of the self gives you the direct experience of permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Where? You. You are the peace, you are the truth, you are the love, you are the happiness. And complete ignorance rejects this notion. Complete ignorance rejects this notion. That is why we say ignorance is bliss. Wow, what a pasta. What a car. I married to the most wonderful. Wait for some time. Do you see that? Do you see? Complete ignorance is also bliss because I don't know. What I should know that I don't know is superimposition. And complete knowledge is also permanent happiness. That is why we say ignorance is bliss. Now see, when I say complete ignorance is bliss, I am uncomfortable. Now I experience in a waking state that I did not experience in the sleep state. I had a total different experience in the dream state. Now because I have taken for granted that I am a waker, I am a dreamer, I am a sleeper, That is ignorance, and that is why I am suffering. Why the suffering has come? It has come from RSM syndrome. What is RSM syndrome? It is attachment and detachment. Second factor is the suffering like this, what I just explained, and delusion. So all the three mix up, and this gives you a misconception. That is what the 50 students, out of which one is my son, I listen to him and still I don't listen to him. Ignorance. Master says that every day we should progress, we should move to the next grade by understanding one principle, contemplation and reflection, and then we should move. If I'm doing the same thing habitually, mechanically, it will be caught by the RSM syndrome, it will be caught by the superimposition, and I will forget. That is the reason why our master says live in a moment. You see, live from moment to moment. Mindfulness is living in the present moment. Do you see that? Because the mind is playing with millions and trillions of superimpositions from moment to moment, I need a tremendous focus. Like a researcher, like a scientist, like a surgeon. I went there, and the OT operation theater is there. So if the surgeon says, "Oh, please run this iTunes in Spotify, or run the news of the CNN," it will not work. I need a tremendous focus to find that real self. It happens in our daily life. So every day we have to progress. Every day. I sit down, and around 6:30 I had couple of revelations, and then I keep that note. Yes, I keep that. It doesn't take too much of time. It doesn't interfere your professional, personal, and social life. But your focus remains there. What happens? Rise in consciousness. You rise in consciousness. Move ahead. In a smaller bits of pieces, I'm summarizing. Situation is difficult, says the mind. Situation does not say I am difficult. Face me. Superimposition. Will you remember this? Life is not complicated, but mind says it is complicated. It is superimposition. I believe you are getting it. Look at him. He is smiling because he is making fun of me. Smile of that person has nothing to do with me, but the mind feels like it's superimposition. Mind challenges the master with a wrong reason. Look, I am angry because of others. I am agitated because of problems, but nothing like it. It is all superimposition. Can I live into that state? Can I push my mind into that state? That everything outside is incidental, keeps on changing. It has nothing to do with my real self. I can break those delusions in my life. You wake up in the morning and you resolve that whatever is incidental has nothing to do with me. Nothing to create the superimposition. And then you will find out that infinite consciousness is there. Superimposition is the tendency of the mind to project false ideas onto the reality. Superimposes, puts the false idea onto the reality. Why are you laughing? Are you laughing at me? Yes, I'm laughing at you. So now that it takes something neutral, imposes meaning that does not exist. Mind creates that meaning. And why it creates the meaning? Because of ignorance. I said ignorance is bliss. But that ignorance causes the stress, suffering, and the delusion. Let us go a little deeper. I said just now the situation is difficult. Situation did not say that, your life is difficult. Is it a reality? Ask yourself. I have to work on it. I have to move to the next grade. So just think that, take the same example. This situation is difficult. Is it really? What is the point of ignorance? The mind labels a situation as difficult based on past experiences or fears. So past experiences has returned, fears have returned, but the situation itself is neutral. I don't see that situation is neutral. Superimposition. It does not announce the situation, does not say that I am difficult. Struggle with me. The difficulty is superimposed by the mind. Why I used to say that you have to reflect again and again to understand, is the situation hard or is my mind resisting it? Terry, is the situation hard or is my mind resisting it? Ask that question and find the answer. Can I face it without labeling it as difficult? If another person handles the same situation easily, what does that tell me? I'm making it very simple by a couple of metaphors and examples. Two people stuck in traffic. One gets frustrated and says this is unbearable. Other listens to the music peacefully. Situation is the same. Traffic is the same. One is suffering and other is happy. Simple way. Simplest way. How life is complicated. We become philosopher, but who says so? We are just talking of millions and trillions of superimposition. The entire humanity, if I say so, is suffering from this pandemic disease of superimposition. Life is complicated, but who says so? Life is just a series of events. It doesn't say I'm complicated. Are you getting it? Look at the wisdom of the masters. Masters say, no, it's a series of events. It doesn't say that I'm complicated. The mind creates the complexity by attaching, RSM syndrome, by attaching or detaching to unnecessary thoughts and emotions. What is meditation? I have to live into that awareness and attention. And you are happy. You look the life as a series of events, not the whole life is complicated. If the whole life is complicated, you will miss the smile. You will never be happy. What if I just live in the present moment, reflection, without overthinking, Is life complex, or is my mind making it seem so? Third example would, yeah, he is smiling at me, he must be making fun of me. Find out ignorance. A neutral smile is seen as an insult or a mockery. The mind projects its insecurity onto another person's expression. What I have to reflect, did he actually say or do anything offensive? No, he is smiling. Could the smile mean something completely different? No, smile is always a smile. So what happens? Your wrong interpretation by the mind did not create the superimposition. You are free. You are free. Look at some subjective examples. I'm angry because of others. Really? Really? The mind blames external people for its emotions. My mind blames external people for the change in my emotion. But the anger is rising within, not from others. Today we are just talking in a very simple way how the mind superimposes unnecessary, unwanted things in life almost every day, millions of times, verbally, non verbally, through action, and the whole day passes. What I said? I am angry because of others. So if others control my emotions, then where is my freedom? You get upset when someone asks this question. Can this guy really controlling me? It is controlling me because of superimposition. It cannot. Can I choose not to react? No matter what others do? Is it possible? Yes, try. A few times you will fail and ultimately you will succeed. But then you have to respond. You can respond, you can rehearse the response. I am agitated because of the problems. Is it the problem or my reaction? You see, we are just separating knower and the known. That is the principle behind it. And that is how I'm helping you to understand it, and that is how I'm explaining. So, what is this? I am agitated because of problems. Is it the problem or my reaction? Ask yourself. We are a non thinker, so non thinker moves habitually. They want to remain in the same grade. They don't want to rise in awareness. It will not work. Spirituality is just constantly, consistently rise in awareness, from incidental to intrinsic. I'm making it simple. I'm not talking of from objective to the subjective reality. It is the same thing. So I'm hesitated because of the problems. Is it the problem or my reaction? Problem do not create hesitation. The mind's resistance does. Did you get it? A problem is just a situation. Hesitation is a mental reaction. Think. I have to think of like this. So why you contemplate and reflect and repeat it again. So this method of inquiry sets in your mind, and the mind that has created millions and trillions of superimposition by another set of thoughts will dissolve. It has to dissolve. Can I face this problem without emotional hesitation? What happens if I look at it calmly and without label? You know the answer. It is possible. 100% possible. What will happen? You will enter into meditation just by contemplation and reflection. Another way to understand superimposition is like wearing colored glasses. Everything appears tinted by the mind's biases. Honey, how are you? No, wait. First look, are you wearing the colored glasses? Addressing honey or not? Remove that. But when we remove that false projection, we see the reality as it is. It is neutral, it is peaceful, it is clear. What as a teacher of the Eastern wisdom have been doing until now? That's quite interesting. What the teachers of Eastern wisdom does, we create a problem and we present to you, and then we show you the solution. Hold on. We create a problem means that we don't create a problem. We want you to be aware that there is a problem here in this perception. There is a problem in attachment, there is a problem in delusion, there is a problem in ignorance. So first we make you understand this is the problem. Do you see? Yes. Because of attachment, I have problem is in my mind, it is not outside. So now we have understood, you have understood the problem. And now we offer the solution. How you reach to a solution, we say that you become a seeker. If you don't become a seeker, the solution is not possible. Why you become a seeker? The seeker understands here is an attachment, here is a delusion, here is a superimposition. Then just follow the path and you are there. Superimposition is not separate from ignorance. It is a form of ignorance. One master used to say that I met him long ago. So master, he used to say that, you see, the masters in Eastern wisdom, first we create or present a problem. So are we speaking a lie by creating a problem? You can say half-heartedly yes. Then we say repeat it. You repeat, you listen and learn, contemplate and reflect. So you come to a conclusion that the teacher is revealing the hidden problem, which I claim as peace and happiness. No, the peace and happiness is not there outside. So then we conclude the master doesn't create the problem. We reveal the hidden ones. What is that hidden one? Is the superimposition. Oh, my son is the greatest joy. There is a hidden attachment. Continue to have a joy with the son, but minus hidden attachment. Let us analyze this a little deeper. A father is deeply attached to the son. He sees only the joy in this relationship and is unaware of the attachment and the suffering hidden beneath it. That may be happening very near to you. Terry, it may happen with you also, with your maid. It can happen anywhere. That is just one example. Now, if you analyze, the first step would be the hidden problem. Oh, I love you, honey, you are my soulmate. Hold on, mind what you are saying. Is there any hidden problem? That hidden problem is the superimposition. The father believes his happiness comes from his son. He superimposes permanence on something that is impermanent. He is superimposing permanence on something that is incidental, that is not intrinsic. So I have to continue. The moment I am into anxiety, duality, and a conflict, I have to examine in this manner. What is the hidden problem? Second step, then the master wants. Now, master has shown you the hidden problem, now wants. Attachment leads to suffering. So it means I have to treat this mind. I have not to change the situation. That's what I mean to say. I need not to divorce. I need not to, no, if I feel lonely, I need not to get married. If I feel lonely and I'm getting married, problem, I have started the problem. Problem will continue. Do you see that? So second step, the master's warning. Attachment leads to the suffering. The father does not see that problem. So what the Eastern wisdom is doing, just it wants to show you here is the problem and here is the solution. We are not doing anything. The master explains what happens when the son grows distant, changes, leaves. The father will say that I will be terribly disturbed. How long you will be disturbed? 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, month? After that, you forget. So why don't you forget now that very sense of attachment so that you continue to live into that state? You recognize that intrinsic nature. Do you see that? What is the step number 3? Is the realization. One day the son moves away from work. The father suffers deeply. He now realizes my happiness was never in my son. It was my own false projection. The master was not creating the problem. Initially we created the problem. But now you understand that master is revealing the illusion before you start suffering. Understand, casual. It's so easy to put logic. Was happiness in the son or was it within the father all along? Point of reflection. That is known as the reflection. Because we have to be very clear about contemplation and reflection. So now reflection. All the other 3 steps were part of the contemplation. Is love dependent on attachment or can love exist without clinging? Reflection. You are reflecting. You are free here and now. And then in the second event takes place, mind again projects and you again work, you rise in awareness. It is not habitual. Oh, I'm just focused on the breath and that is mindfulness. How long you have been doing it? How long you will remain in the same grade? Should you rise above? You don't want to, you have passed your 10th grade and you don't go to the principal and headmaster. You say, no, please give me admission in the 10th grade. You have already learned it. I believe you are getting it. Let us take another example. Today I just want to show you a couple. Success will make me happy. That is the modern buzzword. Success will make me happy, or never ending chase of happiness. I'm defining the success in a different way. Never ending chase. I did not succeed. I can bet you that the moment this thought comes to your mind, you drop this idea of a success and then first check your mind. Find that intrinsic nature and you are happy. And still you continue to do the same thing. Let us look in a very applied way. A young professional believes that once he becomes rich and successful, he will finally be happy. Contemplation. Step number 1, the hidden problem. Find out the hidden problem. What is the hidden problem? I see the wealth, or the professional, he sees the wealth and success as source of happiness. Do I know the definition of success? No. Do I identify it with the wealth? Yes. So I became a millionaire after 10 years of working in extreme stress. As a dividend, I am suffering from diabetes. And I'm still seeking the wealth and the success as source of happiness. You see the superimposition. He superimposes lasting joy on something that is incidental, that is temporary, that is constantly changing. Should I stop working? No. You recognize it. You recognize the hidden superimposition, get rid of it, and continue working. He is unaware that desires multiply. Success never brings the lasting fulfillment. Second step, the master's warning. So first the master has created a problem. So people misunderstand this when we say that, it means, should I stop earning? Oh, we are not saying that. We are saying recognize the superimposition behind it. We are not saying you don't earn. So the hidden problem, and in the second step, then the master, we are warning. Now you recognize it? Yes, I recognize. You are chasing a mirage. Young man ignores. He does not understand the ambition. The master replies, after one success, won't you want more success? Yes. I got a job in the Google, now I will be lead, now I will be a project manager, then senior project manager, then CEO, and etc. He doesn't understand. I don't understand my ambition, so my success is incidental, it is constantly changing. Will I be ever satisfied? So should I not work? We say you work minus superimposition. Where is the realization? That guy achieves success, but new desires arise. So I have to hold on to this. Mind, I have to check you. So because of the new desires, I feel empty even if I am a millionaire, even if I am a CEO. Are you getting it? Even if I am a CEO, I feel empty. Can you conclude it? Happiness was never in success, which is incidental, which is a superimposition. Did you get it? what I'm doing, I must do excellently. I must put my effort in a right way, in a right direction, not incidental success. Let me get rid of it. And everything will be taken care of in your life. So we move to the reflection. What is that reflection? Was success ever enough, or did the mind always demand more? What happens when happiness is no longer tied to the external achievements? Repeating again. What happens when happiness is no longer tied to external achievements? You pursue your goal in happiness. During the effort, you are happy. After the effort, you are happy. No superimposition. You continue your journey of life. Anything, anything. That is why the Buddha says, Buddha created a problem. Oh, you are running after the word? Problem. I don't know that running after the world has a hidden problem. Running away from the world still has a hidden problem. Well, I will leave everything, I was frustrated, you cheated me, and that is running away. Neither running after nor running away. No attachment, no detachment. I have to recognize it. The master does not create the problem. So we say when the world is suffering. Our great philosophers in US also, they branded Buddha as a pessimist. No, we are not talking of pessimism. Because if you don't create a problem in front of you, you won't become a seeker, you won't listen. And then we say, no, it is not a problem, it is a superimposition. How it is created? Because of ignorance. Superimposition traps us in delusion. But the awareness makes us free. But we need that awareness of a seeker. I'm qualifying. True happiness was never outside, it is always within. The last point is also very real wisdom. You see that, how we have to explain the real wisdom. Or is there any wrong wisdom? No. But to emphasize, the real wisdom is not about adding more knowledge, but removing the false projection and the superimposition. That knowledge is already within us. That is the journey of what we say, study the Eastern wisdom, to study yourself. To study yourself. How? By recognizing what is false I. Because when I recognize this I is a false I can easily leave it. But if I don't recognize it, the projection will continue, incidental experiences will continue. I cannot move to the intrinsic nature, my real self, I cannot find it. I have to move in every day. I have to rise in consciousness in every day. Buddha God was enlightened. He taught more than 45 years in India. I think perhaps, if I am not mistaken, he never went outside India. So at that time the population was hardly, how much? 5 million, or even less than that. And he taught 45 years. It means he traveled the length and the breadth of India for more than 25 times. So it means he has approached everyone couple of times, teaching one thing, rise in awareness. And the same thing, he applied the same method. He created a problem. No. So first we create a problem. Why you are running after? Hold on. Success is different than the happiness. And then you realize that yes, this is my hidden problem because of the superimposition. Now the person has become a seeker. Seeker realizes, oh, this is what is happening to me. So you recognize, the moment you recognize, we say it is hidden within you. Now separate the incidental and intrinsic. What is intrinsic is you, what is incidental cannot be you. So you are free. I hope I make it very simple. Close your eyes. We will follow the same verse. Yadi deham prathakratya chiti vishyamyatishthasi. If you separate, it is already separate. But the master is saying, you see that? It's creating a problem. If you separate your body and mind from you, you are in peace and happiness here and now. It is already separate. But to recognize it is already separate, I have to become a seeker. You see, all these teachings can also be summarized what I discussed today. So eyes are closed. Yes, eyes are closed. Contemplation, why the eyes are closed. So that all these five sense organs opens to the world outside. It doesn't open inside. It is one-sided windows. Also, it picks up the objects, people, relations. Yes. So symbolically, we closed our eyes. But now symbolism should turn into your awareness. Did you get it? What is that awareness? You already know it. Symbolism to understand, to get the knowledge, and after that, so okay, if any sense organ picks up the object in the memory of my mind, I will not pay attention. Is that being carefree? I'm not saying, I'm just raising the question. If your mind says yes, you are with me. So what I'm doing, in fact I'm not doing, I'm living in a moment. Or you can simply say I am living in awareness, or whatever you want to say. Both are okay. Okay? So the thoughts are coming and going. I don't care. Why? It is incidental. It is not. You got it. It is not intrinsic. Do you remember the pandemic? So all the thoughts, majority of the thoughts that enters into our mind subconsciously, habitually, incidentally, has to do with superimpositions caused by either attachment, detachment, suffering, and delusion coming from the ignorance. You simply say to yourself, the moment anything recognized by you, that you is the false I. So the false I lives with the real I. That is the problem. So, for the sake of understanding this verse, which I translated just now, if you separate your body and the mind from you, the mind rests in peace and reflects the peace and happiness here and now. This is the verse. Okay, so now because the teacher has told a lie that you have to separate, so that is why we say look at your entire body from the top of the head to the toes and experience sensation, comfort and steadiness. Sensation, comfort and steadiness. The mind is still moving. Body seems to be steady. That is one part of the reflection. Oh, it's already separate, so I need not to separate. I simply recognize that. How do we recognize if the mind is living within? It is not distracted by any thought of the world outside. We experience that separation in the dream state. The dream body is different than this body. We are not the body in deep sleep. That is also a separation. But why it does not happen in the waking state? Illusion, superimposition, attachment, default. It is by default. What is default? Impulsive, automation. That is why we need a knowledge. So mind demands that the next step. If it demands the next step, keep your awareness on the breath. If it doesn't need any next step, just be there. So being there is intrinsic nature, here and now. If the mind is demanding something, yes, go for it, looking at the breath. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Do not focus, just being aware of the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, and continue to explore where the breath is moving in the space. Is the space inside and outside are two spaces or one? It is one space. Is the breath moving into the space or in the body? Go on exploring. Don't allow the mind to jump onto the habitual thought process. So Master says, when you repeat listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, your thought process changes. It prevents what? Superimposition. Then what? You recognize body and the mind already separate from some presence inside or pure consciousness. That is the reason we are in peace and happiness here and now without doing anything. I wake up, I sleep, I dream, I have fears, I have anxiety, I have pleasure. All are incidental. But that I, which does not change, is intrinsic. But I take the I as incidental. So I am in stress, I have anxiety, I have duality, I have conflict, and a long list of superimpositions in our life. It is just a common sense. Based on what we discussed, I try to convert that into a journey. It is intrinsic, it is essential, hence the mind has to do nothing except you're just aware. Finished. But as long as the mind continues with these incidental superimpositions, it creates a veil Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand, Lift your both the palms, place it in your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. How are you, Terry?
I'm okay.
You're okay, good. Very good. How are you, Samir?
Sir, the story of son and father is it is means after listening to that, thoughts are evolving in my mind. I really thought that this is really something to do now, that so that I not feel any trouble in the later ages. So I should understand everything correctly.
Yes,
So I
yes,
think loving your children is a different thing, and getting attached to them and living without them, putting into in sorrow is different.
yeah,
So this is what I'm very means fortunate to understand all these things at these stages. So
good.
it was very good. Means
So,
what you told me, it was
son,
very close to my life, and everything was happening in day to day.
yeah,
Means
yeah.
it.
So, your son is still living with you?
Yes, sir. He is only 14 years old.
Or it is only for you? Then what? Son is son. An attachment is attachment. If we don't have a son, we have other attachment. If we have a son, there is an immediate attachment. Yes, yes, you are right. That's the right thing to learn. How are you, Dennis?
Uh, Thank you for the session. Several things I noted as a summary of today's session is that anything that is incidental and changing, no matter how attractive it is to the mind, has a hidden problem in it and cannot be a source of happiness. And the, the other thing that if I feel unwanted or negative emotions, it means that these emotions have taken control over me and limited my freedom. And once I become aware of this, I get my freedom back. And then when you talked about the progress on this path, I think it is one of the indications of this progress is when I notice in my everyday life that a particular thought, reaction, or perception that seems so natural is in fact a superimposition.
Yeah,
And in fact is not natural at all. And when I realize that, then it's kind of a mini revelation that that prompts how to change that thought and behavior.
beautifully said. Beautifully said. Everyday life. Everyday life is a new situation, new event, new thought. Now, but we take it for granted. It's a default. I don't live into that awareness. So there is a rise in awareness every day by applying these principles in your life. So throughout the day, when you wake up in the morning until you retire to the bed, the whole day is in peace. Why? Peace and happiness. Why? Because it is intrinsic, it is not incidental. And the rest of the events are always incidental. Whether you rush to a store, you get the shoes you want to, you cherish, or you don't get it. Both are incidental. So can I remain in that calmness within? I get it, very good. I don't get it, that is also very good. Where is the problem? So that helps me to rise in awareness. That is the moment because it reveals me. Why it is a rise in awareness? I'm not frustrated if I don't get it, and I'm not elated when I get it. Happiness. Beautifully said. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the lesson. Loved it. Um, we talked about problems a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago or so. I was thinking to myself, going back to when I was in school, you'd go to an algebra class, a calculus class or whatever, and we had problems and we solved them. And so I realized that it wasn't like devastating. We weren't stressed. We weren't, it was just like that was part of what we do. So I think the label that we give or the connotation with problems in this day and age is out of whack. I recently read a story. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a great story about a student in university in a very advanced mathematics class, and he fell asleep during the lecture. And he woke up right at the end as people are leaving, and there's 2 problems on the board. So he writes them down and goes home, and he spends the week trying to solve the problems, and he can only solve one problem. And he goes back to the class next week, and he tells the professor, he goes, I'm sorry I wasn't able to solve the second problem. I was only able to solve one problem. The professor said, what are you talking about? And he goes, I spent the week trying to solve the problems. I could only solve one. And he goes, I wrote those problems on the board because those are 2 problems that have never been solved in modern history. And you solved one. And so that's a perspective that he didn't have, that they were problems you couldn't solve. So he went and tried and solved them, and he solved them. So anyway, long story, but thank you very much.
Yes. That is what it is. The mind that brands, that gives the value that this event, this issue is a problem. That issue does not say that, I'm a problem. And that is why I introduced in a very simple way the incidental and the intrinsic, or you can say the knower and the known. So the false knower, which is I, says it is a problem. But behind that, there is a real knower which says, I'm okay. Problem is outside. Let it remain outside. So it does not hide your real nature. It does not superimpose. So you are free. When? All the time. In what situation? In all the situations. Beautifully said. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. Oh, so many pearls in that lesson. I liked your desires multiply. The chase never ends, if that's the chase on the outside. And the intrinsic is always, if we spend a quarter of the time on the intrinsic, we spend so much time on the outside world that's constantly changing, and these goals and making more money or having more things, or, and if we just spent a portion of that on the self-study, everything would come. We don't need anything. We don't need anything.
Beautiful, yes. And everything will be met. All your needs will definitely be met. One master used to say that, what do you think about, I went to him long back and he asked me that, what about the desires? The entire Eastern wisdom says, no desire, go beyond the desire, transcend all the desire. So in those days I was very young, so I made a same reply, you have to transcend the desire. So he laughed at me and he said, you trust your guru? Yes, I said, I trust my guru. So desire from the guru, that every day I desire my master should help me to rise in awareness. He said, do you think like this? That you should be like your master. Have constant desire like this. And which I did, and I realized that, all the incidental nature and events have decreased their value. They are not so important. So these are the subtle things I'll be taking over. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you for the lesson and the meditation. I agree with Jiri. There's so many gems, so many pearls in today's lesson. But I guess my big takeaway, which we've learned so many times, but I'm still doing the work, is that everything external is simply a situation, and our perception creates the problem, the fill in the blank, right? And so when and the notion of even being separated from it is false, because we're inherently separated from it. So you have the piece, and then you have everything else.
Yeah.
Until something happens with the desire or all the stuff, then you get mixed up in it. So my work is just to recognize that the separation's already there and stay on the correct side of it.
So wherever you are free. The perception creates an incident which my mind claims as reality. But it does not recognize it is a misperception. And it is the part of the ignorance, and that causes the suffering. Then I constantly keep worried about what is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Whatever has to happen will happen. But it doesn't mean that you don't use your intellect to put it into the right perspective. You put it right in perspective, but you know that still it is incidental. Still it is incidental. Still it is not intrinsic. Your expression changes, your life changes, the transformation takes place just by this understanding. That is all for today. Thank you. We will meet again.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.